Hi there, and welcome. I'm Teacher Brittany from AIA. Today, we will learn 25 upgraded English words to make your English more fluent and to also make sure you don't overuse the word very. Okay, let's dive in. Here are 3 words and phrases that mean you are very sad. Our first word is upset.
He's pretty upset.
Upset.
You're upset.
Upset. Upset is when you feel a little sad or angry. It's usually caused by something that happened, like an argument with a friend or a bad day at work. She felt upset when her team lost the game.
He's pretty upset.
Upset.
He's pretty upset.
Upset.
You're upset. You're upset.
The second word is depressed.
You look depressed, Walter. You depressed?
He's totally depressed.
Depressed. Depressed is a feeling of sadness that is very strong. Being depressed is sometimes a medical condition that requires the help of a qualified doctor. She felt depressed after her dog died.
You look depressed, Walter. You depressed? You look depressed, Walter. You depressed?
He's totally depressed. He's totally depressed.
Our third phrase is feel blue.
I feel blue.
I bet you're feeling blue.
Feel blue. Feeling blue is when you feel a little down or sad. It's not as severe as depression. I often feel blue on rainy days.
I feel blue. I feel blue.
I bet you're feeling blue. I bet you're feeling blue.
Te quería mencionar que acabo de terminar un nuevo entrenamiento 100% gratis para enseñarte 7 trucos para aprender inglés más rápido, para hablar más fluido. Ahora mismo puedes bajarlo con el enlace pegado en el primer comentario.
Next, let's learn 3 phrases that can be used to describe feeling very happy. First, we have delighted.
We'd be delighted.
Delighted.
Delighted. Delighted means feeling extremely happy or really pleased. She was delighted with the surprise gift.
We'd be delighted.
Delighted.
We'd be delighted.
Delighted.
I hear this next expression frequently. Over the moon.
He'll be over the moon.
And I'm really over the moon for both of you.
Over the moon. Over the moon is a more intense expression than delighted. It's often used to describe someone who is extremely happy. He was over the moon when he got accepted into the university.
He'll be over the moon. He'll be over the moon.
And I'm really over the moon for both of you. And I'm really over the moon for both of you.
Have you heard this next saying? On cloud 9.
How is Mark? He's on cloud 9.
I'm on cloud 9.
On cloud 9. On cloud 9 is the most extreme expression of the 3. It's used to describe someone who is so happy that they feel they are in this state of bliss. Winning the lottery put her on cloud 9.
How is Mark? He's on cloud 9. How is Mark? He's on cloud 9.
I'm on cloud 9. I'm on cloud 9.
Next up, we have 2 phrases that describe being very angry. Our first word is mad.
Are you mad?
She's mad at me because I said I think you're sexy.
Mad. Mad means to feel angry. He was mad when he found out about the mistake.
Are you mad? Are you mad?
mad at me because I said I think you're sexy. She's mad at me because I said I think you're sexy.
The next phrase is to lose somebody's temper.
I didn't mean to lose my temper.
Taffy, don't make me lose my temper in front of company.
To lose somebody's temper. This phrase means to lose control of one's emotions, particularly when they are angry. She tends to lose her temper easily when things don't go her way.
I didn't mean to lose my temper. I didn't mean to lose my temper.
Taffy, don't make me lose my temper in front of company. Taffy, don't make me lose my temper in front of company.
Now, let's try these phrases that express feeling very scared. Terrified.
You're terrified of what you might say.
They were all terrified of me.
Terrified. Terrified is a feeling of being extremely scared or frightened. She was terrified of the dark.
You're terrified of what you might say. You're terrified of what you might say.
They were all terrified of me. They were all terrified of me.
Another expression is deeply afraid.
I am deeply afraid of what he may do.
Deeply afraid. Deeply afraid is a less intense word than terrified. He is deeply afraid of spiders.
I am deeply afraid of what he may do. I am deeply afraid of what he may do.
A third saying is shaking like a leaf.
Shaking like a leaf.
He is shaken like a leaf.
Shaking like a leaf. It means to tremble or shake due to fear or nervousness. He was shaking like a leaf before his job interview.
Shaking like a leaf. Shaking like a leaf.
He is shaken like a leaf. He is shaken like a leaf.
Let's continue with phrases that can be used to describe being very open or very honest. Transparent.
You're so transparent.
God, you are so transparent.
Transparent. Transparent means to be open, honest, and very vulnerable. She's transparent about her intentions.
You're so transparent. You're so transparent.
God, you are so transparent. God, you are so transparent.
Next, we have the word straightforward.
So I'd appreciate if you were just straightforward with me.
I'm pretty straightforward.
Straightforward. It means to be open and truthful without hiding the truth. She's always straightforward with her opinions.
So I'd appreciate if you were just straightforward with me. So I'd appreciate if you were just straightforward with me.
I'm pretty straightforward. I'm pretty straightforward.
Another word you can use is frank.
He was so frank in that exchange.
Frank. Frank is being honest and straightforward in expressing opinions. She gave me a frank opinion about the project.
He was so frank in that exchange. He was so frank in that exchange.
Okay, quiz time. I'm going to give you some sentences with phrases we've just learned. What you have to do is tell me what they mean by choosing A, B, or C. What do the phrases in bold mean? Okay, let's give it a try. Number 1. My boyfriend was on cloud 9 when he got promoted. Oh, it's such a happy story. Is it A, very angry, B, very happy, or C, very like? The correct answer is B, very happy. Okay, let's try another. Chris just stood there and told everyone what was going on in his family. He was so transparent. Is it A, very scared, B, very interesting, or C, very open? The correct answer is C, very open. Are you ready for one more? Let's do it. When I found out that my husband cheated on me, I almost lost my temper. Is it A, very angry, B, very happy, or C, very sad? The correct answer is A, very angry. Did you get all the correct answers? Well done. Now let's continue the journey. We're about halfway there. What are some phrases you can use instead of saying very interesting? Let's try the word fascinating.
Oh, this is a fascinating guy.
Answer to your question is fascinating.
Fascinating. This word describes something extremely interesting or captivating. The documentary was absolutely fascinating.
Oh, this is a fascinating guy. Oh, this is a fascinating guy.
Answer to your question is fascinating. Answer to your question is fascinating.
We also have the expression on the edge of my seat.
I was on the edge of my seat.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
This phrase means something that is very exciting or suspenseful. The thrilling movie kept me on the edge of my seat.
I was on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat.
I'm on the edge of my seat here. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Have you heard this next expression? I got hooked by, or I got hooked on.
I really got hooked on this stuff.
But I got hooked on SpongeBob.
This means to become very interested or addicted to something. I got hooked on the mystery novel and I couldn't put it down.
I really got hooked on this stuff. I really got hooked on this stuff.
But I got hooked on SpongeBob. But I got hooked on SpongeBob.
Up next, we have 2 words that mean very big. The first word is enormous.
This place is enormous.
You could have enormous fun out there.
Enormous. Enormous is something of significant size or magnitude. The elephant is enormous.
This place is enormous. This place is enormous.
You could have enormous fun out there. You could have enormous fun out there.
Another word that can be used is huge.
This is huge.
Huge difference.
Huge. Huge is less extreme than enormous. The huge blue whale is the largest animal on Earth.
This is huge. This is huge.
Huge difference. Huge difference.
The next word can be used to describe something very small. Tiny.
It's tiny?
She's a tiny little French bulldog puppy.
Tiny. Tiny is being extremely small or little. The ladybug is tiny.
It's tiny? It's tiny?
She's a tiny little French bulldog puppy. She's a tiny little French bulldog puppy.
In the English language, we often use the following 3 phrases to describe being very rich. Well off.
Handsome, well off, friendly.
Are you rich? No. Well, I'm well off.
Well off means that you have a comfortable amount of money. They are well off and can afford luxuries.
Handsome, well off, friendly. Handsome, well off, friendly.
Are you rich? No. Well, I'm well off. Are you rich? No. Well, I'm well off.
Another word you can use is wealthy.
Your mother's a wealthy woman, Selena.
I'm a very wealthy man.
Wealthy. Wealthy means you have a great deal of money and assets. He is wealthy and owns several businesses.
Your mother's a wealthy woman, Selena. Your mother's a wealthy woman, Selena.
I'm a very wealthy man. I'm a very wealthy man.
Next, we have the expression filthy rich.
I want to be filthy rich.
You really are filthy rich, aren't you?
Filthy rich. Filthy rich means that you have an enormous amount of money and are extremely wealthy. The CEO is filthy rich.
I want to be filthy rich. I want to be filthy rich.
You really are filthy rich, aren't you? You really are filthy rich, aren't you?
Our last set of words today can be used to describe being very crowded. Cramped.
That last place was a bit cramped.
Cramped. This means to have limited space with a lot of people in a small space, or feeling overcrowded in a tight space. The tiny room felt cramped with all the furniture.
That last place was a bit cramped. That last place was a bit cramped.
A second word you can say is congested.
Everything's so congested with high-tech overload.
This is getting too congested.
Congested. Congested is being overcrowded or filled with many people or vehicles. The city streets were congested during rush hour.
Everything's so congested with high-tech overload. Everything's so congested with high-tech overload.
This is getting too congested. This is getting too congested.
Congratulations! You've now discovered 25 upgraded English words that will take your language skills to the next level and help you sound more fluent than before. By avoiding the overuse of very and incorporating these exciting alternatives into your conversations, you'll instantly elevate your English to new heights. But remember, this is just the beginning of your language journey. Our teacher has prepared a treasure trove of free lessons and resources for you to continue honing your language skills. So don't stop here. Click here and to explore more captivating lessons and unlock the full potential of your English proficiency. Thank you for joining us in this incredible journey to upgrade your English. Remember to like and share this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. I'm Teacher Brittany. See you in the next lesson.